What's the deal? What's the deal? It's your boy Kelly Flicks. I'm back. We back, baby. Your boy been coaching for about a month, but we gotta get things going again, man. So I'm back on here, talk some HBC football with y'all, and man, I got a lot to catch up on. So took a big nap earlier. Plan on having a pretty long stream tonight. Y'all kick back, relax with me, and let's figure out what I've been missing out on, cause I know for a fact I've been catching up with the Miag Mike stuff. My boy Miag Mike is actually a real person, which is pretty dope. Shout out to Miag Mike. Also been seeing Morehouse is winning games. Morehouse has won more games than Clark Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. Also, we got Jackson State just took a big loss to Grambling in Las Vegas. We're going to take a look at that. And there's so many other games. Delaware State, Deshaun Jackson's been balling. Norfolk State is really having a hard time. They're like 1-7 right now. So there's a lot to catch up on. Can't wait to get into it with y'all. And first, I want to start off with our D2 slate. So we'll show some of our D2 teams, SIAC in particular. And from there, we'll get into some SWAC stuff, get into some MEAG Mike stuff, get into the rest of the cool stuff. But right now, we'll get to some SWAC stuff. So let's see. Let's turn YouTube on. Let's go there. All right, so first up, let's see what we got here. We got Miles College and Central State. All right, let's take a look. Let's look to the side. What's going on here? Don't worry about nothing. Let's do this. A little bigger. All right, yeah, so here we go. Central State and Miles College. Miles is really having a down year after losing their coach, Sam Shea, to Alabama A&M. Central State is at the same rate, kind of doing the same, having a hard time with their new coach also. So, interesting game.
Fires this one up. It's going to be intercepted.
Let me refresh this real quick for y'all.
And 24 of them coming with an interception. Fires this one up. It's going to be intercepted. Taken away. Dominic Davis diving for the end zone. He's in. It's a touchdown for Central State. So it's a first down. And goal coming up from the 5 as Cotton takes it. Little dump-off pass in front. Room to maneuver. He's in. Van Diver takes it. Back to throw. Lofts this one. End zone. Caught. Touchdown. Miles. So first down and 10 coming up as they take the snap. It's a flea flicker. Launches. Van Diver. Deep. And caught. Touchdown.
Yeah, it's the bottom half of the SIAC.
Ends this one off. Right up the middle. And plows his way in. This time he is in.
Where there's 3 receivers. They throw the slant.
Wait, so I guess that was the last play? I guess the last play of the game, I guess that's how Miles went. I don't know. Can't call it. It's only about 2-minute highlight, so shout out to them. Now we'll get into our next game.
Where there's 3 receivers. It's
going to be Fort Valley Lane College. See what happened in this one.
They throw the slant.
Lane is really bad this year.
And it is caught. Running back behind, you see the motion. Bellops wants to throw. He's looking. He's got a man. That is Christian. Will he take it all the way? What do we have? Touchdown, Lane College.
The signage around the field looks better.
And I thought I had gotten it just the way. The kick is up. It looks good. The officials say it is, so it's a 32-yard field goal. Short 2 here. They send the man in motion. They go straight ahead. And did he fall in with the back twist into the end zone? It is a touchdown. Kyle Keese is going to attempt. It'll be a 53-yard attempt with the punter holding. Kick is up. Let's see if it's got the distance.
Oh.
And it does have the distance, and he ties it up from 53 yards. Where's 41?
Tough game for Fort Valley.
Kick is up. It looks good. We'll let the officials tell us for sure, but it is good. That's Brandon. Sleight of hand. Billups is loose. He is streaking towards the goal line. What do you have? Touchdown, Lane College.
Okay, Lane. Don't tell me Lane did it to y'all. Hold on. 2 minutes left.
They get it right in between, and this man Morgan is loose. He spins, and we didn't get locked up. And did he score? That's the question.
Third attempt to try to take the first.
These highlights SIAC got is cool, but at the end they don't tell you. Let's figure out these. Hold on, we're not doing this today, man. Not today. And low key, I think my boy HBCUFC got all the scores too. But there is no way. It could at least like a score could pop up on the screen. Okay, Fort Valley won it on that play. Got you. Okay. That makes sense. But like you could at least at the end of the game say like Fort Valley wins, you know, or put a score up on the thing. Cause dang, man, like as soon as the answers go to the next game, I gotta calibrate myself. Okay. So Fort Valley won that one. We go Morehouse and Savannah State.
Space there, but that cold close. Oh, it's a fumble on the play. And Morehouse will score off the fumble. The ball popped out the hands of our running back. Ball is up. Snap is good. And the field goal attempt is good. And the Tigers put 3 on the board.
Touchdown.
He is in the zone. Touchdown, Tigers. David Gardner gets the Tigers their. And he is in the zone. Touchdown, Tigers. As Didi came out fast, pass over there, 5 to 10 to 5, and leaps for the end zone. And did he give it to him?
Touchdown.
Yes, he is in the zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
They both Tigers. So like,
they snapped the ball over his head.
And that's a safety there, Coach.
Yeah.
I think so.
Morehouse, they were able to convert 1 third down. Their last third down attempt, they were able to convert. Let's see if they can convert this one right here, or our Tiger defense can hold them back. They 1 for 12 in this game on 3rd down. Scott, quick drop back, throws a knuckleball, but there's a flag on the play, and it looks like he got in the end zone, so it's a touchdown for Old. And he spins the football. That's generally a flag.
Wow. So Morehouse lost that game. I want to say it was like 14-23. Pretty valiant effort by Morehouse right there. Savannah State really kind of been lacking this season. Not really sure what's going on with them. So that game was 16-24. Sorry about that. But here we go. Next up, this game right here. Pretty big game. All right, we got Clark Atlanta and Edward Waters. Both of these teams right here were playing for a chance to still be relevant in the SIAC championship game, right? Still have a chance to go to the playoffs. Pretty much the winner stays in that race, the loser gets out. And Clark Atlanta obviously has been falling off the past 3 weeks. They just cannot put things together. I'm seeing the Clark Atlanta team that this year they showed me shades of last year, but through this season, they are like going through an identity crisis on defense. And it's getting really, really bad to the point where I think this offense is feeling the burden that the defense is putting on them. And they're now stressing and putting themselves in difficult positions offensively. Obviously, vulnerable positions. So this highlights about 8 minutes. Okay, we're going to take our time with it. Then also the Benedict and Albany State highlights a little bit longer too. My boy Kobe was down at Benedict getting some coverage. So let's take a look at how Edward Waters beat Clark Atlanta in a shootout. Water. Clark Atlanta allowed 55 points. That's a big boy at running back. That's a tank. Going to that ball though. Wow, he never went down. That really tough. perfect, ain't it? Froze on me. And they call that turnover, though. Good catch right there. And the offense is still there. It's homecoming for Clark also. Stephon, give it to him. Give it to him. SIAC got some kickers, though. I will tell you that. We saw Albany. We saw Fort Valley bang one. We see Clark bang a couple.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
Bro, what? How did he catch this? I could swear like the defender hit his stomach. Oh, man, this could have been really, really bad. Like, really bad. What a grab, though. What a grab. Hey, wow, no, this is a great offensive battle between Eric Dooley and Teddy Keaton, though. I'm talking about good offensive coordinators. Probably two of the best. A lot of touchdowns, a lot of interceptions in this one, I'll tell you that. Wow. This rocket up there. What? Huh? And he caught this? What is going on? It's working though, man. Eric Dooley offense is kind of nice when it's clicking. Yeah, Josh, I don't know what that was. If they had just half of the defense, if they had half the defense that they offense, if their defense was half of the performance that the offense was, they'd be half decent team, man. This defense is terrible. How you give up 55 points on homecoming? You never gonna win that game. Clark was never gonna win this game. You gotta pay for it. Stop. These defensive highlights, you gotta see everything. And watch this matchup, then we're gonna move on. We got Benedict and Albany State after this. Edward Waters is a problem too. I would not want to play Edward Waters in the D2 playoffs. I really wouldn't. That's a team you really don't want to be matched up with. Kentucky State, you know, I think them in the playoffs, it could mean something, but as far as making a run, I'm not sure if they got the personnel yet to make a run. But Edward Waters, even though their defense is really bad, this team has no problem putting up points, which is scary in the playoffs because a lot of times in the D2 playoffs, a lot of these teams come in with great defenses, only allowing 12 points a game. And when a team comes out and scores 30 points, they don't know what to do, right? We saw with Benedict a couple years ago when they went and played Lenore Rhine. Great defense, don't have to score a lot on offense, and quite honestly, you're only allowing like 12, 15 points. Your offense got to score like 24 points a game, right? You go to the playoffs, though, the type of talent increases. You have better, high-potent offenses, and they have a problem, right? So Edward Waters with this great offense right here, you might be able to make a push in the playoffs. You know, defense means you're probably not going to win too many games, but I can see Edward Waters in the playoffs making a little move. I would want to be out the way of them. You know, I wouldn't want no smoke with Eddie. Keep it a buck. I wouldn't want no smoke with him. So we're going to go ahead and watch Blitz City Podcast. My boy Kobe, he was down at Benedict watching the Albany State game. He got all the coverage. We're going to go through. We got about 15 minutes of it. We got some in-depth coverage from my boy. So we're going to go through, watch this game. And I dubbed this the SIAC Championship because these are the best teams in the SIAC. If anything, they'll probably play each other or one of them will play Kentucky State. All right, so this is it.
I tell them no,
offense.
And number 20, Ty White.
From Johnson C. Smith, he's over there. Defense too. Preseason, that's how he's defensive player of the year. It used to be scary to go up to Benedict when Tennis Berry was there. It used to be like, oh no, we're going to Benedict.
Pass intercepted.
Shame to get hard, man. Ain't no shame in getting hard nowadays, bro. It used to be a shame in getting hard, boy. Supposed to get to the hood. Hey, I want to say that. I want to say this. That last possession, we kind of saw it. We're gonna check out the boy Isaiah Knows. But look at the length on these DBs at Albany. Man. Look at the length out here at corner. Look at this length out there they got. Both of these two dudes, 29 in that corner over there. They got a lot of length at DB. A lot of size. Makes it really hard to throw around these guys, man. These type of guys that Queen Gray's recruiting down there at Albany State, right? In a lot of problems for teams.
Get there! Hold it!
Pass complete to number 3.
Ridiculous. You get a free play and you do this, we're going to throw the ball to you more, son. I ain't going to lie. You get a free play and you do this to the DB, I'm going to make sure you get at least 8, 9 targets a game here on out. Because, boy, what?
Touchdown. Touchdown. Well, there you go.
You got this in your Duffy?
Pass complete to
You
number
got
3.
to use this way more. You got to pull that out way more. 'Cause what?
Get out, Leaky.
I've been hanging in there, man. I like that.
Pass. Pass intended for the...
Yo, this is a big dog match. How many deep balls have we seen?
Make some noise for your defense.
Can't hold on to the football. This is what you catch it. They've been here before. Cooper would be able to put together a couple completions or something, man. There's no rhythm in this offense. They give up on the run. They're just chunking it deep every other play. What is this offense? What is this? I want to say head coach is calling the offensive plays. Pick six. Poor play calling on this offense. I haven't seen anything like making a drive. How many first downs they had this game? This game in win is getting 31-3. I can tell.
Pass intended for number 8. Pass is incomplete.
Benedict was 1 for 10 in third down conversions.
Yes.
Benedict had 51 offensive plays. Albany State had 82 offensive plays. This is domination, man. I don't want to see this team in the playoffs. I'm not going to lie to you. They are not ready. This is showing me a lot. We'll go through Benedict's schedule.
Stay out of that. Ain't there.
This one game, I can't just say this is the team. This is against a good team.
Pass is incomplete.
That's how y'all gonna look at these top competition. Another celebration.
Incomplete.
Yeah, Darius Ocean looked terrible in this game. Wow. Darius Ocean threw 10 for 28, 158 yards, 1 interception. Of his 158 yards, he had a long throw of 63 yards, which means aside from that long throw, he threw for about 90 yards this game. Isaiah Knowles, on the other hand, Albany State was 22 for 37, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. His longest throw was 39 yards. Albany State also rushed for 217 yards, including 2 running backs with 70 yards or above, Tyan Weiss and Ajanan Thomas. Wow. Yeah, now if you want to talk about some domination, that was domination. So let's take a look at Benedict's football schedule. Let's see what's going on here, right? Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's see. Okay, so we're 7-1, right? 6-1 in conference, 4-1 at home, 3-0 away. Okay. So Fayetteville State, this was actually ends up being a pretty good win. Fayetteville State has picked things up and become a contender in the CIAA, so that helps. Central State, the 10-0 win doesn't help too much. Central State only won like 1 game. Tuskegee, turns out to not be a very good win because Tuskegee is now like 2-7. So both Tuskegee and Central State aren't very good teams. You get 2 wins over them. Clark, they're still below 3 wins right now. You got an Allen University team that was actually one of the strongest teams, one of the stronger teams in the SIAC this year so far. They've kind of fallen off in a week or so, but they're on the top side of things. I'll say they're in the top 6 still for me. Then you got Fort Valley, pretty good win. Then you got the Edward Waters, probably your best win on the schedule right now, Edward Waters. Okay, so we probably wouldn't have seen too much from Benedict in a lot of these games. I mean, the Edward Waters game probably showed us the most from Benedict, but when you play against an Albany State team, right, after coming off a big win against Edward Waters, right, you play against an Albany State team where I think this is the SIAC championship, and you just don't show up. It's a home game on a Saturday afternoon, and you just don't show up. Come on, man. We got to be real. We got to be real. Jordan Haddon says, Quinn Gray, come on home, man. Please. Hey, Cozy, man. Cozy needs to get out of there, man. Take the first trip back to the Nova Scotia, okay? Get that boy back to Nova Scotia, all right? But Benedict is where we're at now in the season. All you got is Savannah State left. I think you beat Savannah State. You end up in the SIAC championship still. I don't think there's any way looking on the outside looking in. You got Virginia Lynchburg right here. Get your little throwaway game. You play against the JUCO All-Stars right here. Senior day, come out of that healthy. Then go play Savannah State, which will be at Savannah. Could be a trick game for you. You know, they do have all their guys. They run a kind of weird program over there, but they do have all their guys. They have weapons, right? So they are able to beat Benedict. Benedict has proven that they're not just, they're not the old Benedict. They're not Thanos. Just losing that first game and going 7-1, I think a lot of things have been exploited within that Benedict offense, right? Like using a lot of press man. If you start blitzing, getting to Darius Ocean a little bit earlier, it makes it harder for him to make these throws downfield. And nonetheless, if you can play man, like Albany State can play man downfield, you're fine, right? Everybody doesn't have the personnel to do this. Okay, I mentioned how Albany State has some cornerbacks like 6'2", 6'1", real lanky guys that can cover and make good plays on the ball in one-on-one situations. Every team doesn't have that, okay? But we see that Benedict struggles in man coverage, right? Because Edward Waters' defense is paper mache, right? Them allowing 31 points doesn't mean too much up to this point. I think Edward Waters, let's check now. What Edward Waters, let's see how many points their defense is allowing per game. Let's take a look. We'll do it together. I know I like to do my research live. So let's take a look. Go ahead and hit stats. Okay, team. All right, so Edward Waters is allowing 29 points a game, 30 points a game. 30 points a game. And how many points did Benedict score against Edward Waters? Oh, 31. Right on path, right? So Benedict's offense to me is still a question mark. Still a question mark, right? You only scored 14 points against Fort Valley. You get it up against Clark, who has paper mache defense. Tuskegee too. But Central State, you also struggle with 10 points, right? These 3 games in here, the Tuskegee, the Clark, the Allen, a very strong run from Benedict, okay? I don't think that defines their season, though, which is why I think we're at this back half here where we see this Fort Valley, Edward Waters, Albany State. We're starting to come back down to earth, and now we're starting to see the true Benedict, okay? We have scouting reports out for them. We understand what they're trying to do on offense and defense, and now teams are game planning accordingly. So, interesting for Benedict nonetheless, but what do we want to do now? Let's do it here. I think we should get into some Twitter stuff. Plenty of stuff on Twitter going on. If y'all ain't here, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me on the late night show. But hit that like button, my boy. Come on. Show me some love now. Show me some love. I know I love these night shows. Might be on here for a couple hours. Y'all go ahead and sit back, throw the cookies in the oven, man. Kick it with me. So, on Twitter, though, my boy Josh was in here earlier. I don't know if the boy's still in here. But my boy Miag Mike decided to get at Josh and the whole HBCU nightly crew over, just what he's feel has been disrespect, right? They've been on him, and I really thought it was all jokes. I didn't even know Miag Mike was a real person. The boy be responding to my tweets and everything, and he's a cool dude on Twitter, but I didn't know he's a real person. I don't know the man in real life. So we now have found out that Miag Mike is, in fact, a real person. Okay, he joined the Off Script show this past week by calling in. Okay, he called in to Outspoken with Off Script and Perry White, and he had a lot to say. So I went ahead and clipped it, threw it on to Twitter. Everybody had their fun with it. So now we're going to hop back into it, have our fun with it. So let's drop that down. Let's do this. And here we go. Here's Miag Mike for the first time.
Fellas, how you doing?
What's good, man? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, you know who it is, Miag Mike.
Hey, what's up, Miag Mike?
Man, can I build tonight?
Dog, you got the floor, my boy. You absolutely got the floor, Miag Mike.
I'm not no Division II All-Star. I'm not no SIAC legend like Josh, right? I don't have no LinkedIn, no Indeed playing resume, Scotty. But I did diagnose that North Carolina Central ass whooping, Scotty. I did diagnose that, Scotty.
You did.
Scotty, check this out. You know what's the sad part about it? Delaware State beat them with their C game. Delaware State didn't even bring their A game to do them, right? And they were still able to dominate the trenches and win the game, right? So let's touch on this thing called expert, right? The little black Rudy from North Carolina Central that walked on North Carolina Central. He loves coming from my football acumen, talking shit to me, right? But check this out, Scotty. How can you be an expert and you don't know shit? How can you be an expert and you don't know shit, Scotty? Scotty, there's no way you can say you know more, you forgot more football than most niggas know, right? But you watch film and you can tell that Delaware State was a solid team. There's no fucking way, Scotty. You can't be an expert and not know shit. Look, it took the Sacred Heart officials 5 minutes to know that Delaware State was the real deal and kick out their whole team, right? But Josh says he knows football. He knows more than every other nigga in the world, right? But he didn't know that Delaware State was a solid team, right? If you watch that first game against Delaware, against the Blue Hens, you can see that Delaware State was able to impose their will on the Blue Hens. They was able to control the trenches for 3/4 of that game, right?
Yeah.
And this is somebody who ain't, I played CIAA, my grandfather played, all that bullshit, man, right? I was able to see this in the first game that Delaware State was the real deal, right? Hey, let me touch on this. I'm going to move on. And the thing I hate is when you're cooking somebody, they want to attach you to Morgan State. I went to Morgan State 25 years ago and graduated. I don't have shit to do with what they do on the football team. Morgan State is not focused, they're not disciplined. They got an ass coaching staff, and they got undisciplined players. They get burnt. Man, the cornerback's a barbecue chicken. And niggas want me to come out the house and go watch that shit like I ain't got better shit to do. I went to 3 games last year, and all that shit was bullshit. I told Bank, I'm going to watch one game, the Towson game. And that game is going to let me know everything I need to do and know about more. Fumble, kickoff return, running back missing the ball, coach looking like a fat black Santa Claus, gray hair. The nigga only 46. Man, listen, I'm done with these niggas, man. So don't put my football acumen with Morgan. I love Morgan. I root for him, but I know they're going to lose. Right? Hey, but check this out. The last thing I want to touch on is this PV team, man. This PV team is ass. This is the worst 62 team I've ever seen, man. Everybody in them, man. I might put, man, $500 on Alabama State. They gonna burn them the fuck out. They terrible. Check this out, man. Listen, man. Hey, that's all I gotta say, Scotty. I love you guys, man. That was a great interview with Coach Washington, man. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm gonna stay in the chat, Monte, and I'm gonna big you guys up. Hey, but always remember this, Scotty. Some shows you listen to learn. I learn on this show. I learn on the Coach's Corner. And some shows you listen to laugh. When I watch HBCU Lightly, that's the laugh. When Richard Pryor comes on, I laugh. All right, peace, man. Have a good one. God bless.
God bless, man. Yeah.
and that is MEAG Mike. All right, so the boy MEAG Mike went in on Josh HBCU Nightly Crew because he correctly predicted Delaware State beat North Carolina Central. And it was funny. I ain't gonna lie, it's jokes. I for one, I think MEAG Mike and Adrian Crook should hop on. They might as well make a podcast together, man. They be in the chats and everybody podcast. They are up to date with everything. They got to start a podcast together, okay? I think Crook and MEAG Mike could do numbers. They can cover a lot of the regions. Crook already got the South. He a Southern guy. MEAG Mike like Morgan State, you feel me? Y'all cover both of the regions equally. Hop on the pod and talk about both sides, you know? But to his comments and stuff, you know, that's they beef, bro. I don't really know. What I will say though is that I don't know why Josh thought that North Carolina State was gonna run through Delaware State. I don't think anybody thought that North Carolina Central was gonna run through Delaware State. Just being honest with yourself, type. Like, there's no way. I know. There's like, it's kind of funny in HBCU, like, you know, all the sports and everything. A lot of the people that commentate on the sports all have like a team. Feel me? Like, they all, you know, most people are from one of the schools. You're an alumnus and you're supporting your team and you talk about your team and try to push for them. But as some people try to stay in the middle and say, well, I'm not really a homer and all this stuff. But sometimes you just can't help it, man. Sometimes you just can't help it. Sometimes you just got a favorite team. Right? Sometimes because you went there, you got a certain affinity for the school, and you can't help it. And I think that's what happened with Josh this weekend, to be honest, because they had homecoming going on. Because, look, Delaware State is nice. They nice. HBCU football standards, they are a nice team. I said top 5 team. They in BJ's top 5 every week. It makes a lot of sense. A whole lot of sense. So when I look at what's going on, you gotta believe that Delaware State was gonna give North Carolina Central a hard time. And I even dubbed this game, same way I dubbed the SIAC game this week, the Benedict and Albany State game, the SIAC championship. I dubbed this week in the MEAC as the MEAC championship game. And I really believe that. I think the winner of this game is probably gonna be the MEAC champion, right? You still got South Carolina State over there. They're reigning champions, right? I can't take nothing from them. But I think they're in championship form. I'm not sure. A big win this weekend definitely makes me think so. So Delaware State, South Carolina State game does become extremely more valuable. But this Delaware State team, to me, is proven to be the front runners in the MEAC. They play better in non-conference games than everybody else. All right? Because South Carolina State took some weird loss. Central also took some weird losses. But Delaware State played well against Delaware. They did good in their non-conference games. They got holes in the Sacred Heart game, losing their quarterback in like the first quarter because he shook hands with a fan, right? But Delaware State looks great. Yeah, they had their deficiencies. They're not perfect. They're on a team that can just throw for 500 yards of passing, but do you need to? And there was a question that Josh and the whole HBCU Nightly Crew was kind of raising about Delaware State's offensive line and what do they do? Well, just because, and I kind of believe them too, because the offensive line doesn't get a lot of push on his inside zone plays and whatever, you got to look at what these running backs are doing and how they're reading these holes. The running backs at Delaware State have excellent vision, probably some of the best vision out of a lot of running backs in HBCU football. You know, I see guys like Chris. I see guys like Trey Holly. I see a lot of the guys at Alabama State. Also, they all have great vision, right? Great running ability. They hit the hole, they hit it and just go. They usually can find their hole, and they have the escapability to get to the next level. That's what I'm seeing a lot with Delaware State. These running backs are tall, slender guys, right, or quick guys like Marquise Gillis. They get to the hole, get to the second level, and make your DBs miss. Put them in conflict situations. That's really the thing. Even though I don't see the Delaware State offensive line getting a terrible push, they're getting hands-on, they're locking in, and they're driving, right? That's all you need in the HBC football, to be honest. A simple drive, 2-3 seconds. This may not work out in the playoffs, okay? But for this play right here in the MEAC, yeah, this is enough. Just what you need. Exactly what you need. I saw a lot of traits in Delaware State that I've seen from Morgan State and Morgan State's rush game the past 2 or 3 years. I think Morgan State's probably had one of the best rushing attacks the past couple of years, up there with Jackson State, up there with FAMU, right? And we all get it. Morgan State can't pass the ball. That's why they are so good running the ball. But I'm seeing some of the same qualities from Morgan State that I'm seeing in Delaware State. Morgan State did the same thing up front. They beefed up their O-line, went toe-to-toe with pretty much everybody, and are able to stay in games because of that beef up front and their quick running backs. They don't necessarily rely on the pass. So I think Delaware State is in a great position to make a run at the MEAC because not only did they prove that this offensive and defensive philosophy works in the MEAC and against some of the top schools in the MEAC, it works. It really works, right? You're not just trying stuff out. This works, and this could be the class of the MEAC. So when I first saw the game, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights, read through all the stats, ended up rewatching the game later on. Earlier today, I rewatched the game. But when I was watching the game, something that I made a comment on Twitter about this weekend was that this is Cali ball, right? And everybody, what's Cali ball? Cali ball just when you win. No. Cali ball is running the ball inside zone, outside zone, RPO heavy, right? RPO, take your shots. Moving your quarterback outside of the pocket at times to make a lot of different plays. Horizontally, right? Not necessarily vertically, horizontally. You're not usually doing a lot of quarterback powers. You might do a lot of quarterback keeps or sweeps, move them out of the pocket with a couple of linemen to protect them, right? So what we're seeing right now with Delaware State is really a new form of football or philosophy in football when it comes to the MEAC. Doc, what's the deal, man? We late night, chilling, you know it. Miss Body, how you doing? Yeah, MEAC Mike, he not a white dude. That's a brother. And he went to Morgan State. He said he went to Morgan State. But as I was saying, I was explaining a little bit of Cali ball. When it comes to Cali ball, a lot of the offense, because you see it, even a lot of our top schools run Cali ball. You know, St. John Bosco is going to do it, heavy RPO. Mater Dei is going to do it, a lot of heavy RPO. Okay, you're going to use your tight ends, you're going to use your H-backs, your Ys, right, your slot guys, to get out in the space downfield vertically, right, and to use that space in the flats. Okay, so a lot of what Delaware State's doing, I think, is putting the linebackers in a strong conflict at all times. You're pretty much always reading your linebackers. And what we saw this weekend was Caden Bennett. He's reading Max Urine most of the time, right? You got really a run-stopping linebacker you're reading, a guy who wants to get downhill a lot. And really they got him into difficult positions and able to work against his momentum, right, by using this RPO offense. Oh, shout out to the late shift, man. Everybody on the late shift, shout out to y'all. And don't forget to smash that like button, y'all. So anyway, when you put Max Urine in conflict positions like that constantly throughout the game and you constantly move off of him, it gives him a hard time. We saw the same thing with South Carolina State last year. They also run a little bit of Cali ball, if you want to be real. They run downhill, run a lot of RPO. They put Max Urine in conflict last year. And we saw that with FAMU love to do a lot of the RPO with Jimmy Musa, who's a Cali guy. So you really got to notice that in HBCU football, a lot of the stronger teams are running a lot of these strong rushing sets and are able to run RPO off of it. Jackson State does a good job with it. And even this year, they've blossomed as an offense to not only run the RPO, but to get into more spread sets and able to throw that NCAA shoot route out of number 2 receiver, right? You get straight down to the end zone. You saw it a couple times this weekend against Grambling. So really, you know, when I look at Delaware State, this don't look like a first-year coach. This does not look like a coach that's never coached at the collegiate level before. We are miles ahead of a first-year coach. We're going to see on third. Y'all going to see when they play Norfolk State. You're going to see a difference in a dude that looks like a first-year coach and a guy that looks like he's been here for a couple years. Okay, because right now Mike Vick, he looked like a first-year coach. He looks like a guy that's having a hard time understanding what's going on. Okay, you fire your whole defensive staff in the middle of the year. The next game, you give up 51 points. That looked like a brother that don't know what he's doing. Okay, just being honest. Okay, I have no bias in this. Y'all know that. I have no bias in this. I got no team. Pops with the Morehouse. You feel me? Whole family, Morehouse, Spelman. I got family at Southern. I got family at Tuskegee, Howard. I got no bias in this. Norfolk State looks bad. But Delaware State is probably going to be playing for a MEAC championship this year. Straight up. So I did have an interview Let me see if I can find that interview. I got it. So on the MEAC call, Trey Oliver, the boy Trey Oliver, man, he just can't. He can't help it. It shows on his face. I talked about in the summer how he was a whistleblower about ACC teams trying to get at his players and go pick up his players in the middle of the night, and Virginia Tech trying to show up at his sideline and all this other stuff. And, well, now they ask him about the game and the Delaware State game and what you think about the game. And he just had a hard time just even interacting with this whole thing. So I want y'all to take a look at it. And we can all really see how the boy Trey Oliver look. He's just like everybody else, man. He's a sore loser. He's a sore loser. And it makes sense. My boy Crook, what's the deal? I was just talking about you, bro. I said you and me, Mike, should have a show together. I said name. So I think the name of it should be Haters United. I think that would be the perfect name for y'all. Haters United would be great. Y'all can hop on that. I watch Haters United every week, bro, on me. So we're going to watch this here. We're going to give y'all the full Trey Oliver. I don't want to go full. Well, yeah, let's go full. This stuff I ain't even seen before. But we'll go through the full Trey Oliver MEAC media call, and let's see how he's acting. I thought he was kind of being sore loserous, but you guys tell me. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of this dude like narrating and all the cameras switching on the MEAC media call. It was way better when all we saw was the coaches. Like looking at people ask questions is so awkward. Jesus, so awkward.
And what a ball game it was. Two offenses putting up a lot of yards, a lot of points, and the Hornets escaped with a win. Coach, let's talk about what were the keys to the game from your perspective.
Definitely. First of all, I'd like to say my thoughts and prayers go out to Grambling State University and T-Set, the quarterback that went down with a rather significant injury this weekend. So I would like to say that our thoughts and prayers are with Grambling State University and his family. We had Delaware State come in this weekend. Obviously a very disappointing loss, but we knew they were a very good football team coming here, well-coached football team. And, things we have preached, the basic things that you have to do to win a football game. You have to take care of the football. You have to win the kicking game. And we did not do that. We turned the ball over. We've done a really good job of taking care of the ball all year. And then we get a crazy roughing the punter penalty. And those are 3 extra possessions that you give them. So they were able to possess the ball. We play against really good running teams like that. You have to take advantage of every opportunity and every possession. And they did a really good job of possessing the football and got their running game going. But and didn't tackle them. I didn't think we tackled well at all. But my hats off to Delaware State and Coach Jackson. I thought they came in with a great game plan. And we've got to do better with some in-game and halftime adjustments. And that's on me. That lies squarely on my shoulders. And I've got to do a better job managing the game.
Coach, well, let's turn our attention to this week, Coach. You got to hit the road in another big football game. You got to go to D.C. to play Howard, who seemingly battled back from no man's land to win it in overtime against Morgan. And you got to forget about what happened in Durham and go win it in D.C. to stay in the hunt. So what's your statement? You heard what Coach had to say about your football team. You heard Coach Scott give you a lot of compliments, your leadership, your talent, your quarterback. What is it going to take to make that statement and come out with the W?
I'm sorry about to call Coach Scott and hear that again because I just got in the room. I missed all of that stuff, but I'll call Coach and let him repeat that. But, it's going to be a dogfight. And whenever we, play Howard, it's usually a physical football game. And, we had some good battles over the years. But I did tell the team yesterday, we lost the football game. It's not the end of the world. And, obviously we talked about we got to win them all and, it's conference play. But my message to you all is we have to win them all and what it takes to get to the Celebration Bowl. But I don't discuss the Celebration Bowl with my team. We always talk about, this week, stay in the now and work to get better every week. But obviously, the hurt loss, I told them we're going to put it behind us yesterday. We're not going to be walking around here pouting with our heads down. We lost a football game. And, unfortunately, we haven't lost many around here like that. And we'll be okay. So we're not going to be dropping the heads and all that stuff. But, with Howard, they got Coach Scott has a great offensive mind. and you have to be prepared to defend just about anything. So you're going to see a lot of different formations, and they do a really good job of attacking you. So we have to play with great eye discipline this week, and we have to do a better job communicating this week defensively.
Okay, Coach, hold on. We got a list of questions from the media. We're going to start things off with Nathaniel Henry Jr. Nate.
We finna hear these. We got a little ad going right here. You know, I don't pay for YouTube, but we finna hear these questions though, man. Yeah, that boy said we got a boatload of questions. Hold on.
You're on mute, Nate.
Good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning, Nate.
How you doing now? How in terms of approaching this week, what is the mindset of the team at this juncture?
Nothing changes. Nothing changes. We still got to improve at every phase, and nothing changes. I mean, we have the same approach, whether, you know, this week as we did last week and the week before. It's about us, and we have to focus on us and just working to get better. In every area, we got to be more efficient, and we have to improve. And it was some things that we didn't take advantage of this past weekend, and you can't come back and look at it Sunday saying, you know, we wish you would have done X, Y, and Z. So, you know, big thing is tackling defensively, and then offensively, you just got to take care of the football. And special teams, just don't beat yourself.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, and good luck going into this week's game.
Yep. Thanks, Nate.
All right, Coach. Wayne Cartwright has a question for you. Wayne.
Hey, Coach Oliver. Good to talk to you again, sir.
Hey, Wayne. How you doing, man?
Doing well. So I just want to ask you this week about the human side of losing a game like you did on Saturday. Obviously, you know, the expectations were high headed into the season and also heading into this particular game this week. What is the process, though, that you and your staff personally take to remotivate and reinvigorate those guys and inject energy into that building after a game that was a letdown like this one on Saturday ahead of this week?
We lost the football game. I mean, we still have expectations here. We're still a good football team. Let's not get it twisted. We're a good football team. We lost a football game. So, I mean, the expectations don't change. The energy in the building is just fine. The good Lord woke us up and gave us another day, another week. So we're going to come here and take advantage of it and make the most of it. The energy is fine. Staff is fine. I didn't go in there and throw water coolers and curse and all that other stuff. We got to get better. We let one get away from us. But they're my guys. I still love my football team, and we'll work to get better. Unfortunately, we lost a football game. It's not the end of the world.
Well, Coach, I got motivated off that answer, so I appreciate your transparency, and good luck this week against Howard.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks for that, Wayne. James Hill, you're on.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everyone on campus are well. How's it going?
I'm well, James. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Talk a little bit about the opportunities ahead. Again, there can actually be co-champions. There's a lot of scenarios that can play out over the
Hey, y'all saying stuff he do not want to hear right now. This brother just said co-champions. What?
few weeks for postseason play, but I know you just focus on, you know, going up to DC this week. But just talk about the outcomes can be fruitful.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I don't know. I can't think that far ahead. You know, people talk about we're going 1-0 and so on and so forth. I don't know our schedule. We got Howard this week. You know, after the game, he's talked about preparing for next week. I didn't even know who he had. So I don't, you know, it's all about Howard. I don't know who we have next. We played one conference game. And, you know, everybody want to talk about championship, Celebration Bowl. It's so much football left to play. So we're, again, I don't talk about things until it's time to talk about things. I don't talk about my guys in the NFL until it's time to talk about the NFL. You know, when I see guys preparing for it and changing their bodies and making plays like they're, you know, have capability of going to the league, then we'll sit down and talk about the NFL. But I'm not going to sit here and talk to a freshman or a sophomore about NFL. I'm not going to talk to my team about Celebration Bowl in week 7. There's a whole lot of football left to play. We're going to sit here and talk about Howard University.
Good luck this week, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, James.
All right, Coach, next question comes from Perry Daniels. Good morning, Perry.
Yeah, but I don't think they got no co-champions. Bro, I don't know why they hurting the boy feelings with all this.
Good morning, Lynn. Thank you. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Perry.
Coach, let's go back to Saturday and last week in general. I want to find out how much your culture of homecoming impacted your execution of scheme on the field?
Not at all. I mean, we played in big venues and large crowds before. We played Southern in the SWAC Challenge. We played in big games. I mean, that had no bearing on the football game. We played a good football team, and they had a very good coaching staff, and they beat us. Bottom line. And homecoming was not an excuse. We have no excuses. We lost a football game.
Fair enough. Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, Coach, Dwayne Nash is up now with a question for you.
They giving it to him with these questions, boy.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm well, Dwayne. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Last week, I asked you if things were coming too easy for your offense, only for your offense to get held to 10 points in the first half this past Saturday, which is a rarity. Being held to 10 points or less in the first half has only happened 3 times this year. Can you talk to us about what Delaware State did defensively in order to be so effective against your team?
They did a good job of tackling. And, I thought Walker did a decent job of managing the game in the first half. I think we were a little conservative in the first half. We probably should take him a few more shots downfield. But they did a good job, stopping the run. They were where they were supposed to be, and they weren't giving up explosive plays. They played sound football.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck this week on Georgia Avenue.
Yep, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Coach, your next question comes from Doc Holliday from HBCU Overdrive. Doc.
Coach Oliver, how you doing this morning?
I'm well, Doc.
All right. What is the thing? When did you tell Chris Mosley the last play where he fumbled the ball at the 1 yard line, and what did you tell him as far as like trying to keep his head up after that play?
That was it. Keep your head up. I love you. We're gonna be all right. That was it. I mean, one play did not lose that game for us. And
you can tell that boy 38 hot. He tired of answering these questions about this loss. Oh my God. I mean, what did you expect though? You gonna have to answer the questions, big dog. You was at some point, you was gonna hear it. Trey Oliver, he's a great coach. Not a big rah-rah guy, but he pokes his chest out a lot. And I think for him to get humbled by the first-year head coach in the first game of SIAC play is like a shot in the chest. I ain't even going to lie. I think it hurt. I think this hurt it. Not going to front. Because we haven't got to hear this, man. He going to keep getting more mad. I want to show y'all how cool Deshaun Jackson is. The brother wearing a beanie and a hoodie right now. Look at Trey Oliver. He looked like he just fresh out of a game, got a button-down shirt on, long sleeve, looking upset, glasses on. Now, we're about to go to Deshaun Jackson right here. After this ad, we'll show Deshaun Jackson. But Deshaun Jackson is chilling. The boy just probably had one of his biggest games of his career, just won it, and now he's chilling. Just complete polar opposites. And, this dude, Deshaun Jackson, man, cooler than the other side of the pillow.
1-0. We wanted to come in there and obviously show the world what we're capable of doing. And I feel like we did a great job. We played 3 phases of football. The first half was a very tight first half. It was, 10-7. Second half, we came out and scored right away. We went up 21-10. And obviously they came back and took the lead in the third quarter. But, throughout that whole game, man, our guys just showed character, man. They showed, how physical they could be. They showed how hungry they wanted to be. And, we was able to come out of a hostile environment and get a win. So it was a big first game, but obviously, it's a lot of ball left to play.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Coach. A lot of ball left to play, including some ball this Thursday night at the Lincoln Philly. You know that place well, and you.
Before you say anything, I got Delaware State winning this game by I said 14 points, but I think I'm going to put it up to 21 points. They're going to win this game big. Del State by a whole lot.
Know a lot about the Spartans. Norfolk State, Michael Vick, the coach, very well. You've seen this team on tape. The notion normally is to judge a team by their 1-7 record, but they are really only a few plays from being a 500 ball club. So what's your...
Wait. The boy using revisionist history. What you mean a few games left? No. They not even close to 500. You barely beat Virginia State. You beat Virginia State in overtime. We don't talk about Norfolk.
on the Spartans and Thursday night in Philadelphia?
Oh yeah, man. We don't get caught up in records, man. We know Michael Vick's gonna have them guys riled up. They've been playing some good style of football. Just the ball hasn't really, fell their way in some of those games. But I just know the character of type of guy Michael Vick is. He's gonna have them ready once again. He's gonna have them riled up. We're back at home where we scored a lot of touchdowns. This game is gonna mean a lot. I'm excited about going down and letting my players have an opportunity to show what their skill level is in front of the world and in Philadelphia. So we'll just prepare how we need to prepare. It's a short week. Quick turnaround. We practice today. We usually don't practice today. So just getting the guys to forget about last week and move on to the next week. But we'll be ready on Thursday.
Okay, Coach, we got some questions coming from the media. Let's get ready for the media. Use the raise hand feature. Remember to unmute yourself and then take the feature down once you're through. Wayne Cartwright, you're on.
Thank you, Lynn. Hey, good morning, Coach Jackson. How are you, sir?
Hey, Wayne, man, I'm doing good. Yourself? How you doing?
Doing well, man. So congrats on a big win for your program. And with that big win, obviously you guys know that you're probably going around. You got a lot of things that you have to avoid. People tapping you on the back, telling you how good you are, and talking about Atlanta and different things like that. You always talk about how you keep the main thing the main thing. But in keeping the main thing, especially this week on this short week, what is the process that you and the staff are taking specifically with each position group as you get ready for Thursday?
Well, I mean, good question, man. I always tell my guys all the time, man, we can never get, too content, no complacency. We got to always drive the needle and going upward. This week we have a great style of, we're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna go into the week and not add too much add too much game plan. We just got to be ready, dialed in, and be ready to play a football game. We're gonna work. We're gonna do our preparation like always. We're gonna detail it up, but we're not gonna try to go throwing the whole game plan and try to add all these crazy. We just got to keep it simple and just go play a great form of football. But the opportunity presents itself. Every opportunity we have to get to play a football game, we're going to be prepared, right? We're not going to get too caught up in, we just won a good game. We never done it, getting pats on the back. Like I told you guys always, man, my mental and what we're doing here and my coaching staff and these players, man, we're hungry. We're hungry for more, and we want to show the world what we're capable of doing because we feel like we're a dangerous team. Nothing changes, win, lose, or draw. We're going to always still feel the same way. So, we'll be ready. We'll prepare. We'll detail our work, and we'll be excited to play in front of a hostile, hopefully, it's supposed to be 40,000 plus. So hopefully they on our side and, they fans of Delaware State because it's our home game.
All right.
I don't know if y'all heard that. He said it's supposed to be 40,000 plus. I don't know if we got some pre-sale tickets in or something. I haven't heard that number, but, maybe that's the number that officials are telling Coach Jackson right now. We should have a pretty, a good showing at this Thursday night game at the link between Delaware State and Norfolk. But this Delaware State team, man, talk about a program builder. There's been, for years, people have been, how do you fix Delaware State? And, Coach Milstead tried to get it right. And, look, the job's not finished. But I'm pretty sure Delaware State ain't won this many games in about 25 years, okay, for a good minute, which means all it really took was maybe for an outsider to come in here and make a difference. Maybe a guy that didn't know so much about Delaware State and how bad they've been to come in here and truly make a difference. Because for Deshaun Jackson, he has no personal rivalry with North Carolina Central. He has no personal vendetta. He probably didn't know who Chennisberry was last year, right? So I think as a newcomer coming into this space, he was probably one of the perfect names to come into Delaware State and to really make a change because he doesn't have that long storied history in the MEAC and knows about how Delaware State has been bad and why they've been bad. He's simply come in and been an agent of change. It hasn't been about history or what we used to do for Deshaun Jackson. It's about what we can do and who I'm bringing with me on this journey, which I think is the most important part of rebuilding this team. For Delaware State, I'm not completely sure how much football history Delaware State has to fall back on, right? Which makes it a little bit different than how Deion Sanders was at Jackson State, where you can fall back on the Walter Paytons and the Soul Bowls against what's his name, Steve McNair, and Jerry Rice coming to town. You may not be able to fall on those type of historical marks that Jackson State has, as Deshaun Jackson going into Delaware State. So simply, you have a new canvas. You can paint whatever you want and rewrite your own story. And I think that's what Delaware State is doing. Even hearing Atlanta being mentioned with Delaware State don't even sound right. But this is the type of uncharted waters that Deshaun Jackson has led this Delaware State team to. They're now in pole position in the MEAC. So right now, we're going to take a look at Delaware State's remaining schedule. And let's see their path to Atlanta, right? What will it take for them to get there? So here we go. Next up, they got Norfolk State. They're 1-7. Probably the worst Division I team, HBCU football. Want to keep it a buck. Nobody's saying it, but I'll be the first one to say it. They're probably the worst team. What other teams are there? UAPB will probably beat Norfolk. Valley, that would be a good game with Valley. But Valley is still not a slouch, though, right? What other teams are there? Bethune-Cookman would definitely beat Norfolk. They're not scoring. Norfolk's not scoring with Bethune. Tennessee State. Well, Tennessee State beat Howard. So, yeah, I think I can confidently say Norfolk State is the worst D1 HBCU. By far, the worst. So, going through Delaware State's schedule right now, we got Norfolk State next. At Morgan State, which feels like 2 W's. I'm not going to lie to you. Because Norfolk 1-7, they're having a hard time just figuring anything out. You got Morgan State. The offense is just atrocious. It's just atrocious. Hard to watch. Got Howard. Howard is actually trending up. I would say Howard of all the MEAC teams is trending up, along with South Carolina State, who they're going to finish the season with. Right? So, looking at this schedule, these next 2 weeks, I mean, we could be looking at a Delaware State team that's 3-0 in the MEAC, heading into Howard, at home on November 15th. They got to take care of business, and things do get wacky in the MEAC. He is still a first-year head coach, so you got to allow for a hiccup. I don't think Delaware State gets out of the MEAC undefeated. But holding the tiebreaker over North Carolina Central puts you in pole position regardless. Okay? So I think a win against Norfolk State here, and hopefully, to be honest, hopefully they take care of business, because this could look like a trap game, honestly. If Delaware State somehow gets a loss to Norfolk State here, this hurts a lot. Because now you go from 1 in the MEAC to, tie for 3 or 4 or whatever in the MEAC, and that one loss to Norfolk State is going to hold you back, and you're going to be rated up against different teams based on your one loss. And it's going to be a pretty bad loss. It would be Mike Vick's first Division I head coaching win. So you really got at Delaware State, you walking a thin line. But these next 2 games, you handle business here, things look really good for you. Because you want to talk about a Howard team. Howard isn't bad. They're trending up. I like Tyreek Starks. Their running game looks good. Defensively, Howard's a defensive team, man. That's a defensive team. I'm used to Larry Scott's teams being a little bit more offense, and I haven't heard Eden James' name much this year, which is kind of weird. But the Howard team is very defensive, pretty heavy team also, can match up in the trenches. Offensively, kind of flash in the pan. So, really, this Delaware State team, to me, that's really why I thought this was the MEAC championship, because this Delaware State team, after North Carolina Central, you got all the way to your last game of the season with South Carolina State, where you're going to face a contending team, or a team that we think is going to be contending for the Celebration Bowl. So, Delaware State, I like it. I'm not going to lie, I like it. Put my screen back down now. Steven's out the way, man. Boy, Steve be trying to do the reactions like me. SJG, what's up with that? I'll play it, man. What y'all saying in the chat, bro? They going to give Mike a win. Man, Mike's going to have to scratch for that win, boy. Doc said, D-Jack straight up L.A.? Nah, for real, man. Me and D-Jack, when we both played the Inglewood Jets, Pop Warner, my boy Wayne looked like a 5'4" golfer that was on the team. That boy Wayne Cartwright got a good microphone, man. Shout out to Sure. His body like the beanie. Yeah, that beanie was tough. And Deshaun Jackson been wearing some tough gear all year. I'm not gonna lie to you. The boy been wearing some tough gear. So now we're gonna circle back. I know the SWAC also had a coach's call, so we'll go back to the SWAC coach's call. Told y'all we're gonna be here for a little bit, man. Let me let's do that. All right, so we're gonna get into the SWAC's media call now. There was a couple. I mean, I wasn't online for this, but Southern got a new head coach. Your boy Terrence Graves is out. That's something. What about that, Crook? What about Coach McNair? We have now entered.
Video is sponsored by SIAC.
Hey, calm down, Siki. We have now entered the Fred McNair redemption arc. Okay, we're here. We finally made it. Fred McNair is now the head coach at Southern in an interim capacity, and he was once fired from. Was he fired? He was let go from Alcorn about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point, because Coach said it's been there a year. About 2 years ago, he was let go from Alcorn, right? At the time, Fred McNair seemed like he was trying to dip his foot in the water or have his cake and eat it too. I don't know what the old Southern sayings people using. But he tried to do two at once, right? He tried to go get with Texas Southern while he was still on Alcorn payroll or something like that. And it turns out neither program wanted him. So he ended up at Southern. I guess Terrence Graves is one of his good friends, and he brought him onto the staff as a quarterbacks coach last year. They retained him on the staff, and this year, apparently there's so much going on with what Terrence Graves did or didn't do while he was at Southern, right? The first thing is said that Terrence Graves, as head coach at Southern, was asked to demote his offensive coordinator from offensive coordinating duties around week 3 this season. And apparently he didn't do it. This is the rumor. Apparently he didn't do it. He lied to whoever his boss, I guess Roman Banks, the AD, whoever he told that he was going to demote his offensive coordinator. He lied about it. He did not demote his offensive coordinator. And his offense continued to look bad. And apparently, after his last matchup, they let him go. They gave him his walking papers. So now Coach Fred McNair has been pushed up into the job. We'll take a look at I think this is his first SWAC media call since he's been the head coach. Because actually last week, they let Terrence Graves do the media call, even though his ass wasn't the damn coach. So here we go. Fred McNair, from previous Alcorn State head coach, now the coach of Southern. Let's take a look at what he has to tell us, man. So here's a media call.
But we had some miscues there in that last minute.
And when your team matched up against Grambling earlier in the season,
I thought we had a chance to come back, and defense made a great stop on 4th down and a half a yard. And offense get the ball, give us a chance to go down at least tie it up. But we had some miscues there in that last minute of offense. So we fell short, but I thought that the team really fought with effort. They played a hard-fought ball game on both sides of the ball. They strained themselves very well, and I was very pleased with the effort that they gave. You know, anytime you coming out of interim coach, you look for something different out of the players, but they showed much respect for me coming in, which I've been here a year as well. So they know my face, and I think the guys really embraced the moment, the opportunity to come in and play a game against FAMU. So looking forward to this week. Got to just come out and practice hard. And
I ain't gonna lie, this brother making me sleepy just listen to him. All right, so this past week, Southern went to play FAMU and they lost. Game was 35-43. Let's get to these questions already, man. Come on, bro. Get to the point.
Same intensity and purpose to come out and try to win a game on Saturday against a real good University of Arkansas Pine Bluff football team.
All right, we have a number of people that have their hand raised, so please limit to one question. We're going to go in this order. We're going to have Tanner Spearman, then Black College Experience, then Mr. Cartwright, Holiday, Daniels, and Hill. So first up, Tanner Spearman.
7 questions.
Good morning, Coach. I wanted to ask you about your offense real quick. You came out and scored 35 points this past week. By far the most you have in several weeks. What allowed you guys to suddenly come out and have that kind of success on offense?
I think with the collaboration, what we've been doing offensively with the coaching staff, we executed a good game plan. I think that the guys really executed the ball very well. I think we were very successful on third downs. That's the biggest thing I look at when you look at stats. I look at 2 things: the third downs and the penalties. I thought we did a very good job offensively about converting third downs. It was a big help for us to continue to drive and score points. And on the defensive side, I think we kind of gave up a lot of third downs conversions. There was a lot of big plays, a lot of explosive plays on that side of the ball. We just got to be able to minimize those explosive plays and on defense. And then on offense, we got to create more explosive plays. So being able to put past week was great for us, great for the offensive spirit, So it's always challenging each and every week when you face another defense, just preparing ourselves to face a good Pine Bluff defense. Guys up front, they interchange a lot of players up front. So we had to be prepared for all kind of things up front. The front 7 is what win ball games. So offensively, we got to be prepared to be able to execute offensively like we did this past weekend on third downs and make conversions and move the ball down the field.
Thank you, Coach.
Black College Experience, and then Cartwright.
Good afternoon, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good. So, Coach, as you get ready to face a University of Arkansas Pine Bluff team, what are you doing to make sure the guys execute and finish this game strong to win down in Pine Bluff?
That's the biggest thing. The practice that we have is very intense, and I appreciate the guys, coming out each and every day with effort and with an attitude to have the mindset to go in and win ball games. A lot of time when you haven't won in a game in a while, and the spirit kind of leaves the team. But I think as a coaching staff, we're doing a great job of keeping these young men upbeat that we have, encouraging them each and every day. Just being able to play a ball game and finish it is the biggest thing that we have to do to maintain the spirits of the young men. I think they're still excited about football. From what I've seen each and every day, these guys are still coming to practice, to work hard and to get better each and every day. So just the encouragement part, I think, is still there with these young men. They're still gonna fight until the end.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Cartwright, you're up, and then Doc Holliday.
Hey, Krug, you was right about Mark Frederick. I don't know what type of offense he was trying to run. It felt like he only had 4 formations and 15 plays, though. That's what it felt like.
Coach McNair, pleasure to talk to you today. Hope everything is well for you.
It's going great right now. Thank you.
That's good. So, sitting where the team is that after you've taken over, what is the mission that you have, not just this week, but just moving forward in terms of keeping the guys engaged and keeping the spirit up, to finish this season strong?
That's always a challenge when you're coming in as an interim coach, just the mindset of the young men. And I think that what I'm doing and the coaching staff is doing to making sure these guys are upbeat. Like we said, we still have our routines we have to do during the course of the week and make sure that, all the guys know me. They always come up to me and talk to me. So the biggest thing is just to keep these guys locked in on the task at hand and be able to play another football game on Saturday. It's a blessing. So they understand that part. They understand the aspect that we really have to win ball games. So the upbeat of that is still in front of us. And so we're going to continue to drive these guys, drive these young men, the best of our abilities as coaches to keep them on the right track, whether it's academic or athletic, So we have to make sure that they're doing all the right things, just the little things that matter. And I think that we'll make forward progress. We just got to continue to push forward and finish ball games.
All right. Appreciate you, Coach, and good luck this week at Pine Bluff.
Thank you.
Doc Holliday, then Perry Daniels, then James Hill. Let's move quickly if we can.
Coach McMahon, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, sir.
All right. I know you talked about third down efficiency and penalties. What are some things you want to try to improve, especially on the penalty aspect?
You know, our pre-snap penalties is our Achilles tendon, so we have to stop those pre-snap with the offsides.
I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. That's a good question too, Doc. But I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I don't know why we watching this interview. Southern is 1-7. Hold on. Arkansas Pine up this week. Alcorn takes Southern Grambling. Y'all see that right there? That's Southern record. Southern is 1-7. This probably gonna be the last time we talk about any of their coaches' call, any of this stuff. Cause look, this what's the point? I've been trying to figure out my correlation for Southern and North Carolina Central and where they at, like, you know, on the big scale, you know, to like a Power 4 team or something like that. But like, if I want to be completely honest, you know, as Southern is supposed to be one of the blue bloods, we're supposed to take them so much more serious than 1-7. But when you 1-7, I gotta treat you like you 1-7, man. I just do. Trey Holly, and then it's this whole question about Trey Holly. Now there's some rumor coming out that Trey Holly wanted a red shirt. Coach Graves didn't want him the red shirt. I mean, I don't know what's going on. But to me, that seemed like a slimy story towards Trey Holly. That kind of puts Trey Holly in a difficult situation. Because why would y'all leak that information even if he did ask? Because, I mean, me personally, if I'm the coach, you ain't sitting out. You ain't taking the scholarship. I changed your life. you ain't sitting out of nothing. I changed your life. You had an ongoing case, and I let you come play at training camp. I let you walk on to the team. And to be honest, I don't know if Southern has extended a scholarship to him yet or not. I don't know if Trey Holly's still on his walk-on status or not. Because, I mean, honestly, if I was Southern, I'd find some money for him, make sure he's comfortable while he's here. But that's the rumor mill, all right? Aside from that, for who Southern's supposed to be, it really makes you wonder if they still stuck in the past, right? Like, is this Southern? It's like Southern athletics stuck in like 2016, 2017, like Ladarius Skelton days and all that. Are they stuck in the past? Because you haven't been able to get this coaching stuff right. You've kind of just been hiring interim coaches to become your full-time coach for the past 5 or 6 years. At what point are you going to step into this millennium of coaching hires? Right? When are we going to join the mix? When are we going to stop picking up our assistant coaches? Like, we aren't North Dakota State. North Dakota State can do this and still go to a national title. When Southern does this, you end up 1-7. You end up with Bayshawn McCray. Right? No shade, but I mean, fam, come on. You could do so much better at Southern. You could become a powerhouse. You looking at Jackson State become a powerhouse right now. And you're stuck at 1-7. I think a lot of this has to do with the coaching hires. From Jason Rollins to Eric Dooley to Terrence Graves. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. What is Jason Rollins doing right now? Eric Dooley's on the sideline at a Division II school in Florida. And I don't know what type of calls Terrence Graves is going to get. But if that's indicative of your past head coaches, you're going to end up as offensive coordinator Edward Waters, where are we as a program? So I think Southern has a lot of questions to ask this offseason. There should be a nationwide search going on right now. I do not expect Coach Fred McNair to be given the head coaching job at Southern, regardless of if he wins these last 4 games or not. I think it's time for a hard reset at Southern. because you're amassing the talent, but you don't have the coaches. Yeah, but Rollins was an intern for like 9 games, man. That's kind of the issue I have with Southern is the program has ridden out with these interns like, oh yeah, these guys are pretty good at what they do. Like we can hold on to them. I'm just not a big fan of it. So looking at the end of the schedule for Southern, you got Arkansas Pine Bluff down here. Let me reload this so y'all can see. All right, so you got Arkansas Pine Bluff down here. They're coming up next. Now, Arkansas Pine Bluff is still UAPB, but they're very scrappy. Very scrappy. I wouldn't say their defense is as good, but their team is as scrappy as Mississippi Valley in those Vincent Dancy days. All right, team is going to play hard. They're going to try to put up points, and they actually have some weapons on offense that can keep them relevant. They got Alcorn State, just a completely underachieving team. That might be another coach looking for a job. Cedric, coach said you might be out of there. Because on paper, you have the guys to do this, but you're not putting it together, and you just look bad. So Southern, you got to one of these next 2 games, you got to have them. UAPB, Alcorn State, 2 failing programs. You got to believe if they're playing bad and you're playing bad, their bad is worse than your bad, right? So Southern, you got to be able to put together something and put together a couple wins in these last couple games. After that, you got Texas Southern. I don't see them beating Texas Southern. I watched Texas Southern put up 50 points on UAPB, so Southern, tough luck, buddy. I don't see it. Grambling, I mean, the biggest question will be if Zay T-Set is able to play in that game or not, right? We see the difference that Zay T-Set makes for this Grambling State offense, and really he's the veteran quarterback that they need to lead them to wins. So if Zay T-Set is in this game, give me Graham all the way. But we see Southern's last 4 games could be a little tricky for them. But I say all this because even if Fred McNair wins all 4 of these games, you got to have a national coaching search. You've got to. Got to. And everybody's saying that the cool buzzwords, Joel Taylor's getting a lot of love at West Georgia. Jamar Jaluke's always going to get his love because it's Jamar Jaluke. And on SWAC in a Full a week ago, I thought it was most interesting what G brought up and what the boys brought up, which was the fact that, or I think it may have been a caller that called in. It was the fact that everybody related to the Southern head coaching search, or like this nationwide search that, all the social media is doing for Southern, basically. All the names have to be attracted or attached, rather, to a HBCU or to Southern to be a name on this head coach candidate list. And after seeing what Deshaun Jackson is doing at Delaware State, do we still have to fall back on, well, he has to be a Southern Jaguar to come here? Is it a non-starter if he's not a Southern Jaguar? If he's not a HBCU guy, is that a non-starter still? Or can we open up the pocketbook completely to get the best candidate out there, whoever it is? Because maybe just trying to find the Southern guy or get the guy that's attached to the program is going to bring us back up to 1-7. Like if I'm Southern, I'm Southern's administration, how do we stay out of this position? Right? And this is never the goal. I'm sure they thought Terrence Gray was going to take them back to another SWAC championship just because, right? This wasn't the goal. But was there any indication that after Terrence Graves' 34 years as an assistant coach, that he was going to turn this Southern program into a powerhouse program? Where was the potential you saw on Coach Graves to do this? Because you pulled the plug on him in a 1.5 years. And if you don't see the potential in a coach to do something like that for Southern, why are you hiring him as the Southern head football coach? I think Southern has some issues up top. And there's kind of been like this shared blame thing going on with Southern from what I've heard. Is may not all be on AD Banks. It's like a board also that's going through these same issues and questions and trying to figure things out. So there's kind of a group think process to trying to figure out this Southern head coach. And while y'all watching too, hit that like button. Smash that like button. Okay, I'm doing a late night stream. look out for me. All right. But for Southern, though, is that it? Is that the end all be all? There's got to be a better way. Off script brought up Tyrann Mathieu. Not a big fan of that. I'm not going to lie. Marshall Faulk, I've heard Marshall Faulk could be a good guy for them. I think that really with Southern, it's almost like FAMU, right? And we didn't get to see this with FAMU because FAMU didn't have a national coaching search because they just went ahead and brought up Cozy as a head coach. But I think that Southern, Florida A&M, Jackson State can attract some of the best coaches in America to be their head football coach. I think there are enough position and offensive and defensive coordinators that would be salivating at the mouth for that $300,000 from Southern, Jackson State, or Florida A&M. I don't think you should look so small and think, oh, we got to get a Southern guy. I don't think that's it. Crook says the board passed on Falk once before. Might be time for a change of mind. I would say I think that with Southern, as long as they have a national search, I'm confident they'll come up with something better than Eric Dooley or Coach Graves. And if I'm being completely honest, I really feel like Southern put all their eggs in the Eric Dooley basket after Rollins, like literally everything. Like they thought Eric Dooley was going to be it. He's supposed to be the prodigal son to Pete Richardson. He's the offensive guru. He's going to come back and make everything happen. But if we're being honest, I think that set Southern back the most. The fact that Eric Dooley didn't work out. Because at the time, if you recall correctly, this was also during the same time that Deion Sanders was at Jackson State, and Southern had Coach Rollins. Coach Eric Dooley was at Prairie View A&M, and after Prairie View A&M made the SWAC championship, Eric Dooley went on to coach at Southern the following year. This was the answer to Deion Sanders. It was Eric Dooley. He was supposed to be the guy. Well, Eric Dooley eventually gets fired, okay? He does not make it. And I think that was the beginning of this downfall for Southern. And I think since Eric Dooley, they have not been able to figure out what to do next. And even bringing Terrence Graves up as a head football coach showed me that Southern had no plan on bringing in another guy other than Eric Dooley to be their head coach. He was the end-all, be-all for their program. And because he did not become the one, Southern fell into the abyss. And now we see 1-7 Southern. Because I think everybody could agree that Terrence Graves was never the guy for Southern. He just wasn't the guy. Having Mark Fredericks and having a decent coaching staff. At one point, Mark Fredericks was looked at as one of the one of the better offensive coordinators. I want to say he was still offensive coordinator at Prairie View A&M when they had their good rushing attack also. So Mark Fredericks was once a solid guy. Okay, this staff is a solid staff, not a bad staff at all. So the assumption was that Terrence Graves can take this Eric Dooley staff and get us back to where we need to be. I think now we're seeing we got to blow up the whole staff. All right, we got to uproot the tree from the roots, plant a whole new one. And it'll take time. So it's my little Southern rant. Let's see, or even a D2 coach. Yeah, and for the D2 coaches in the SIAC, and people have been saying, I've been hearing there's a lot of chit chat about D2 coaches nowadays. And it's funny. It's very funny because 2 years ago, it was this whole chatter of, oh, he's a Division II coach. Why would you want him for your Division I school? He a Division II coach. If he can't win in the playoffs, why would we want him? Yada, 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 yada. Right. But now we see Division II coaches are now looking at it as like some type of like, oh, man, they are like great options. Like, oh, man, I wish I could give me a good Division II coach. Years ago, though, we've been telling you about these guys, right? Tremaine Jackson was one of my top coaches like 2-3 years ago. Chinsbury, too, 2-3 years ago. That's besides the point. What I will say, though, for today's landscape, right? You want to talk about SIAC, who could be a head coach, and the SWAC. Let's talk about the top guys, right? Let's go through it. We go through it together. Good late night stream. going to hour 2. Make sure y'all like the stream. So, if you want to talk about top SIAC coaches, you got to talk about Coach Quinn Gray at Albany State, right? Offensive guru, built that whole program up, took it from Coach Gabe Gardona, and took them back to the SIAC championship. Big stuff for Albany State. Very strong program. It's probably the best coach in the SIAC right now. I think aside from Quinn Gray, you got to either split it between Clark Atlanta, Teddy Keaton, and Ron Dickerson down there at Benedict, or you just give it to Teddy Keaton and have Teddy Keaton as one of the top coaches. Ron Dickerson down at Benedict has proven to be a decent coach so far, better on the defensive side, less on the offensive side. And then you got to think about the head coach down at Kentucky State. Now also has become one of the top guys very fast. He's an offensive guy, one of the offensive gurus. Puts up a lot of points on offense. He runs the ball and passes the ball. I think of those coaches, Quinn Gray's probably the most ready for the SWAC. I think Coach Teddy Keaton is ready to be offensive coordinator in the SWAC. I think the head coach at Kentucky State's ready to be offensive coordinator in the SWAC. But I'm not sure if I give my keys to those coaches and have them run my program. Okay. If you want to talk about the CIAA, everybody's been talking about Alvin Parker up at Virginia Union. Well, guess what? Alvin Parker is also the athletic director and head football coach at Virginia Union. He loves that job. AKA the nigga not leaving. Like I don't know why we be doing it to ourselves sometimes. We see things. It's like somebody saying, "Oh man, I think Buddy Pugh might end up in the SEC one day." Nigga, no, he not. No, he not. He's not going anywhere. Okay. I feel the same way with Alvin Parker. You want to talk about Virginia State? You got Coach Frazier down there at Virginia State. I think he's pretty content with where he's at. I don't see any of the MEAC jobs opening up anytime soon. Possibly Morgan State. But you pick up Frazier, you basically doing a retread because Damon Wilson did the same thing Frazier did. Only Damon Wilson did it better. He actually went to the playoffs and won games. So if you go get Frazier in your Morgan State or any of the Division I schools, you kind of Damon Wilson was probably like your test dummy. If you want to talk about a top CIAA coach coming to the MEAC and getting a chance. He's been there for 3 years now. The most wins they've gotten is probably 6 at Morgan State. So, maybe that's your barometer for where they can be at or what Division II coaches are. Fayetteville State has a decent coach. Bowie State's coach, Kyle Jackson, is probably going to get fired at the end of the year. Just being honest. The rest of the CIAA, you got Massey down at Winston-Salem. Things aren't looking good for him. I probably wouldn't hire him as a D1 guy. He's going to have a hard time keeping his job at Winston-Salem if he keeps this up. And Shaw, you got a new guy. Elizabeth City, you got a retread from Shaw. Yeah, these Division II coaches, they're great to get, but they aren't just falling off trees like apples now. We're not just going to just find one that, oh, man, this Division II team just won the conference championship. I want him. That's not how you want to do this. Okay? That's not the game you want to play. So, here we go. Crook said, Banks hired all the other coaches. Daryl Smith said, Banks may be the problem. Whoever's hired them coaches at Southern is setting y'all back years. But I do want to get into some more stuff. We got content for days, y'all. Y'all know me. Hold on 1 second. All right, now we're gonna hop back on YouTube real quick. There was, should we go Norfolk State on them? Give me a sec, y'all. Let's see which way we should go for it. The gas on them. Man, if y'all rolling up right now, roll up for me too, man. I got something rolled. It's ready. As soon as I hop off stream, boy, it's going down. Hope y'all having a great evening. I think let's go to Norfolk State. Let's go Norfolk. I keep teasing Norfolk. Let's go ahead and talk Norfolk, right? So Lou Young, if you don't know, the social media influencer, he was down in Norfolk State this past weekend, and he got the whole homecoming experience. He got walked around the whole field by Vic and the staff, and he was able to, you know, kind of get the full experience. So I haven't been to Norfolk State yet. So we're going to get the experience through Lou Young and see what type of fun Lou Young they had down there. It seemed like a good time. And then we'll talk about, from Lou Young, we'll talk about the mascot situation. Cam Newton actually came out and gave us the whole spiel on how that happened, why it happened, and if the beef is real. Because, I mean, come on, bro. We beefing with mascots now? Like, is that what we doing? Is that where we at with this? All right, so we'll get into this Lou Young stuff right now. It's about 19 minutes. All right, so let me take me off. Let's go here.
That's how you stay on the roster, like that.
Coach Juice is that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Them boys, man. Look at these niggas, man. Look at these boys. These boys ready, man. Mystical. You goddamn mystical. Yeah. 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 Hey, y'all got some extra pads, man. Shit. I had 2 series left in me. Ah.
Yeah.
Don't need it. Get right out this bitch, man. Turn this motherfucker up, man. Turn this motherfucker up, man. Turn this shit up. Turn this shit up, man. Turn this shit up, man. Turn this motherfucker up, man.
How you feeling, man?
Like I'm ready to run on kickoff right now. I got 2 series in me. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Need that. Need that. Big action. Big action. Big action. Big action. Make plays. Make plays. Make plays. Make plays.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Make plays, baby. Make plays. Make plays. Make plays. Make plays, man. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah! Yeah! Edge, dude. What the fuck are you doing? If you're tired, come out. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look.
What's going on?
Yeah. 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 Ha ha ha. Ha. Get your ass out of the field. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get out the field. Out the fucking field, man. Shit.
Oh my. Do this one. Hey, man.
Oh! Fuck!
So Norfolk lost 51-16, man. They got completely demolished. Let's see if we can watch some highlights real quick. But Norfolk is just this team is bad, man. This team, they don't got nothing. They're going to be in trouble this year. And we kind of knew this early, but it's getting worse. You got any highlights? See, I keep doing all these 20-minute highlights. I don't know if I'm not finna watch all that. Yeah, another one, 30 minutes. I like the boy too, but it's too long. Watch the news highlights. Let's check these out.
Opener for Norfolk State. The Spartans hadn't played a home game since September 20th. And despite the 1-6 record, the possibility to chase a conference title still in front of NSU coming into Saturday. Homecoming at Dick Price Stadium was really a great turnout from the fans today. The game, not so much. Things did look good early on, though. First quarter, Otto Coons, beautiful ball to J.J. Evans. That's a 22-yard pass for the score, 7-0. South Carolina State would kick a field goal to make it 7-3. Go to the second quarter now. Bulldogs deep in NSU territory. Mason Pickett Hicks finds Pater, short score, 10-7. Bulldogs take the lead. And that would start the domino effect. About 3 minutes later, William Atkins screen pass to Nigel Johnson. That's a 15-yard house call, 17-7. Still second quarter. Atkins, little more time to throw it. Airs it out to Jordan Smith. One-on-one coverage, not going to cut it. 75 yards later, 24-7 visitors. Under 2 minutes till halftime now. Atkins to Smith again. This one going to be a 36-yard score. South Carolina State scores 31 unanswered at that point. Norfolk State goes on to lose 51-28.
I'm not even going to lie. That's how I know homecoming is about to party. Because ain't no way you let a team score 50 on your ass for homecoming. You don't just lose, you get 50-pieced. And I'm supposed to take you serious? Man, Norfolk, I'm not going to lie. Norfolk's a joke, bro. I'll try to hype y'all up in the preseason, Israel Carr and all this stuff. You fire your whole defensive staff midway through. Week 1 of MEAC play, you lose by 31 points at home. And I'm not even going to... All right. Fuck it. I'll bite. Norfolk State Stadium. They have a football stadium. William Dick Price Stadium. Right? It holds around 30,000 people. Okay? Not interested in that. Let me see this right here. All right, here we go. That's it right here. I want to show y'all. We're going to go through this together. Let's walk through this. All right, so here we are. If we're looking right now, look with me. Hold on. Froze on me. It's okay, though. Look right here. Okay. Norfolk State Stadium, William Dick Price Stadium, has a seating capacity of 30,000. 30,000. Don't forget that. All right, so there's an article right here by HBCU Game Day that explains something pretty clearly. That Norfolk State reported that they had 47,000 people at their game this past week. Or at tailgate or at homecoming, right? They found a way to kind of get in between what's going on and kind of make it look a certain way. And what they've done is reported that they had 47,000 people watch them get 50-pieced. Here's right here. Put an article up for y'all. 1 second, man. Nah. That was a good verses too, man. That was a quality verses. I can't lie to you. All right. So, it'll load up. But Norfolk State reported they had 47,000 people at the game, but the stadium only seats 30,000. Which only means one thing. they're embellishing on ticket prices, sure, right? They're like naming these ticket packages or selling tailgates as a ticket to the game. All right, whatever. I think the most important thing, because I mean, obviously they can't see 47,000. It's not even plausible. I think the most important thing, though, is I think reporting the 47,000 as attendance or ticket sales should mean that the Athletics should have gained 17,000 more dollars in tickets than before, right? Even if you don't actually fit all 47,000 in there, you should still be receiving that type of money, which means that Mike Vick just attracted, or Norfolk State attracted, a giant homecoming crowd this year, and they were able to make money from the homecoming crowd. So I kind of applaud them for getting around this and making it happen like this. I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie. Being a guy that's into athletics and everything, and how can athletics make more money, this is a pretty good way, right? If you're going to sell tickets to the tailgate and sell your parking tickets as tickets to the game, that helps, right? It's only bad if optically you sell 45,000 tickets and only 20,000 people are in the stadium. That's when things start looking a little, all right, what we really doing right now, okay? But when the game still sells out 30,000 and you get to 17,000 extra ticket sales, that's all right. You feel me? That's cool. I could kind of rock with that. So they got 50-piece, but you also got your chili. So Norfolk is doing this correctly, right? If this, say this is Mike Vick's only year at Norfolk, they capitalize off some ticket sales here, right? In this game alone. Next game is supposed to be 40,000. I don't think it'd be 40,000 though. I'm not from the area, so I couldn't tell you accurately. I'm just speaking from the outside looking in. But I don't see 40,000 people going to see 1-7 Mike Vick play against Deshaun Jackson. I really don't. And it would be different if Mike Vick was running things like Deion Sanders. It would be much different. But he's not, right? Just fired his whole staff. So, yeah, I can't really see it, but I do like to see a Norfolk is capitalizing off of having Mike Vick on their football coaching staff as their head football coach. I think that is what's positive in this. The 47,000 and embellishing on what you got, not a super big fan, but as long as you're making the money from this 47,000, go ahead, bro. And maybe more schools should do this. I mean, if NCAT did this, they would have 50,000 sold tickets. So I'm not sure how they'll, even try to tax this or figure out how to stop stuff like this, but I'm a fan of it. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna go to. I want to go to Tremaine Jackson's. Well, actually, we go to Magic City Classic. Let's go to Cam Newton. What Cam Newton got to say, then we'll get back to the SWAC and Magic City Classic and all that type of fun stuff. So, Cam Newton explained the beatdown. There was a little squabble. Let's show the squabble first. So I'll show the squabble first. There was a fight between Cam Newton and the Bulldog from Alabama A&M. Slaps were involved. Feelings were hurt. Memes were created. But most importantly, no dogs were hurt in the process of making this video. But we're going to take a look at it. Don't worry about nothing. It's going to be Cam Newton going head-to-head with a Alabama A&M Bulldog. Oh, and the Cowbells. Shit, do we want to talk about the Cowbells today? All right, so. I want to show the actual video of Cam Newton first. And then we'll show Cam Newton. He reacted to it on the show. Okay, so here we go. Start the race over so I can see the whole thing.
My man,
Okay.
One more time for the one time. One more time. Hold on, I want y'all to notice some small things about this right here. Look at him. See the Alabama A&M mascot? He already holding his head right here, right? His head already finna fly off, okay? Just let y'all be out there. His head already finna fly off, right? He kind of worried about it. You know, the mascot, the number one thing a mascot cannot do is allow for his head to come off. And it's for his true identity to be revealed. They're kind of like superheroes, okay? So, kept the helmet on. He holding it on with two hands right now. He got two hands on the helmet holding it down, all right? That's a lot of screaming. All right, now here we go. Look at this right here. Now we got the mascot going for that hat. The boy, he trying to get to it. He trying to get to that hat. Look at him. He tried right there. He hit it. He got it off. Now here comes the slap. Bow. All right. So, I mean, it was funny. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't take this like as some super serious thing. I thought it was a little funny. I didn't look too much into it, but everybody had a great time with it. Dummy memes. There was a lot of people had a lot of different things to say about it, but I think the funniest part about this was it was a slap, but it was Ryan Clark trying to calm down the mascot. Like Ryan Clark in the background going, "Hey, look, man, like take it easy," like because I don't. There's a really fine line between playing and fighting, and as Black people, we know this, man. That's what we do. We play and we fight. Sometimes you can't tell the difference, and yeah, and I want to say I would like to think they were playing, but let's take a look at what Cam had to say. Nah. All right, so I'm gonna stop doing that. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. All right, so let's go ahead, fast forward up here.
Go with the in shell. Prefer no mess? Grab the no quick. This.com. Birmingham, right? And at first it was like, yo, we going to Magic City. Me being from Atlanta, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. What? Why are we going to Birmingham to go to Magic City? But it was the Magic City Bowl in Birmingham, Alabama, where the two opponents was Alabama State versus Alabama A&M. Now, Peggy, I'm gonna give you some insight that you didn't necessarily knew took place. All right. Shout out to all the mascots worldwide. Shout out to everybody that represent their team worldwide. When I was trying to celebrate with one of the mascots, I hear whispering, "Hey, I heard what you said." I'm like, wait, what? "Hey, I heard what you said." I'm like, I say, what I say? This really gilly. I said, Nasir, you in there? Nasir, fly, Eagles fly. So boom, he pushed me. And when I pushed me, it was like, hold on. I hear what you keep saying about Jalen Hurts. So I'm like, hold on. Show yourself to the peoples. That ain't what happened, Peggy. But needless to say, I just thank God that nobody was hurt as we were doing what we were doing. It was all in good fun.
Okay, so it wasn't a situation. It was just joking around.
Yes, it was.
Okay, cool.
Shout out to Alabama A&M. Shout out to Alabama State, man. The experience was dope as I don't know what, man. Just to walk up to Legion Field and to see the turnout was something that was thoroughly amazing.
Now I gotta ask you, Cam, because everybody's like, man, I'm going viral. I want to go viral. But what does it really mean to like go viral? Like, talk to us about a situation when it's like, in the moment, did you think something was going viral, or like, how did your life change when you're in a viral moment?
Well, this is the thing though. It's not going viral that's the issue. It's the message that gets misconstrued.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the messaging can be like, yo, this is what happened. Y'all seen
What you're going viral for.
For sure.
And you want to make sure it's the right thing.
And like I said, everything was all in good fun.
Yeah.
Right? And if you see that clip and don't finish watching the rest of the show and you realize that we were together.
Oh, yeah, at the end of the show, yeah.
After that event take place, then what does the optics?
Because you was going viral before the end of the show. It was just like,
And
next commercial break, it was just like,
Listen,
Cam.
I did not know that. And I'm like, yo, when I speak to the team, I had no idea of the things that was taking place online.
Yeah.
And if people really wanted to dig deep, they could have dug deep in finding other clips.
Yeah.
But that was the only clip that you saw.
So, yeah.
So what am I gonna do? Yeah. Come back and say like, man, I'm gonna let it air.
Yeah, you ain't say nothing.
I told you it was really Nasir Fard in that doggone mascot. Ever since I said Gilly was a mascot, I've been getting all type of hate mail from mascots all over the world.
You've been scouting, yeah.
But it is what it is, man. It's fun. It was great content. And, you know, having that stage, I think one thing that it did show me is people are always watching.
Yeah, sure.
Like, bro, being a content creator now or being a member of the media now, you start to realize it's like, hold on, vantage points does matter.
Yeah, that's real. Because you seen it on Shade Room. 50 Cent posted it.
Bro!
I mean, you are a meme, okay?
You're welcome, Internet. You're welcome.
That's a Mashika brand commercial.
Thank me later.
Don't knock.
No, because I done seen all type of comments. I done seen all type of memes and things.
Yeah.
You know, they had the Atlanta Falcons head coach on one of the memes. They already done photoshopped the Alabama State on one of the memes. It's like, yo, bro, I can see it happening now.
Yeah.
Peggy, I made it.
You did.
I'm a real meme now.
You are a meme. Congratulations.
It feel good. Feel good. But once again, I thank God that nobody was hurt
Yeah, for sure.
in the process.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, you wasn't stopping nobody from getting hurt, Cam, either. Were we now? Like, you did slap that brother in the face. This is a really funny saga. Is there anything else you got to say before I get back into my joint? I think he's just breaking down. After this, he's kind of breaks down, you know, celebrity and all this. But look, I'm going to keep it a buck. Somebody said this when it happened, and I've been thinking about it ever since. You know how before the season, Cam Newton really wanted to do like a HBCU college game day? How would that have worked if this brother acting like this at the Magic City Classic in front of a national audience? Week to week, you know, was Cam just finna be just bickering with different schools every week or different mascots? Or like, this seems like it's fun, right? It seems like it's fun. But obviously you can't do it again. So it really made me think about, you know, what Cam really would have done with that HBCU game day. And this is just a sample size. But maybe it wouldn't have been as smooth or as fun as I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be a, you know, pretty smooth transition type of thing where just like, okay, Cam Newton's already a down south guy anyway. But being just from down south ain't all it. Apparently when you're trying to, you know, accomplish some of these things presentation-wise, especially when you get shot like on ESPN and you out there slapping mascots, not a great look. I'm not going to lie. It's not a great look. Kind of funny and going to be a meme forever, though. But just not a great look overall. I'm not going to front with you. So now I want to get into this SWAC media call with Tremaine Jackson. Tremaine Jackson talked about playing Bama State this upcoming week, and it's probably going to be one of the biggest games of his career, and it seems like every week is something big for him or a milestone for him while he's in the SWAC. But the fact of the matter is, beating Southern was a very big game for Prairie View A&M and Tremaine Jackson. Next, it's going to be Alabama State, a very tough Alabama State team. So let's listen in.
I think, Coach, if you could give us an opening statement, and then we will open it up for members of the media.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. We've had our homecoming game this past week against Lincoln University. I think this is our fourth home game and the third time that we hit some kind of delay. So we played the first quarter, played about 3 minutes into the second quarter,
And then we hit a delay for about an hour there. And so we came back and played 2 8-minute quarters for the third and the fourth quarter. So altogether, our team played about 34 minutes of football, which as a coach kind of makes me nervous and that we didn't get a full game in. But I was really proud of the way our guys handled the delay, proud of our coaches and our administration figured out a way to at least make the game continue and happen. And so we won. We expected to win, and now we get back into this our conference play, starting with a really good team in Alabama State.
All right, we're going to open it up for members of the media. We will go in this order: Mr. Hill, then Mr. Holliday, Mr. Cartwright, and Mr. Daniels. Mr. Hill, you're up.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody on campus are well. You've been able to establish a wonderful culture and a team that works hard and it's yielding results. Can you talk about this next opportunity against Alabama State and what you see when you look over at the Hornets?
Yeah, Mr. Hill, good morning to you as well. We are certainly excited to face an opponent of this caliber. When we got here, we just wanted to put our head down and continue to grow daily and get better as we go. I'm proud of our guys as far as the guys that are here, the new guys that we brought in, as well as the guys that stayed, and the way that they meshed and jailed and formed a cohesive unit. Those guys work extremely hard every day. And so to be in the position to play a established opponent like Alabama State, I mean, we're really excited for that. We're excited to test our mettle up against it. We don't look too far ahead or listen to things outside of our program. When we got here this summer, we went to media day. We were picked to be at the bottom, and so we continue to keep a bottom mentality, trying to fight our way out. And we're gonna get a good test. They got a really good quarterback. They got really good coaches. They're well coached, really good defense, and so. As I sit here and watch the tape, it's hard to find a bad spot on their team. And so we got our work cut out for us, but I think our kids will certainly be ready as they have been for the previous games.
Thank you, Coach. Have another great week.
Thank you.
Doc Holliday and Cartwright. Holliday, you're up.
Doc Holliday, HBCU. How you doing today, Coach?
Doing good, Doc.
All right. Going into the homecoming game, what did you tell your team? Try not to look ahead for this big upcoming matchup with Alabama State this weekend.
Yeah, what I told our team was what we've always said. Who are we to be looking past anyone? We've done nothing to be looking past. I don't know if we'll ever get to that point, but if we ever start getting to that point, then there better be a lot of trophies behind us that we've achieved and that we won because nobody in our program has done anything to be looking past anyone or any opponent. And so we talk about that a lot. We talk about what complacency can do when you win games. And, we're talking to some guys that places that they've been, they haven't been very successful. Some of our players shared with me the other day that this is the first time that they've won more than 5 games in a season. We're not around here competing for bowl championships. Man, we're on the quest to win our conference. And so when you're on the quest to win the conference, and that's been diluted in our football society where, people just on certain levels fighting for 6 games and getting mayonnaise dumped on them. We ain't doing that. We're trying to get a championship, and that's why we came here. And so when you're in that mode, you don't look past anyone, any day, anything. You respect everyone, and you continue to put your head down and work, and then we'll find out what we are at the very end when it's all said and done. So that's what we talk to our guys about all the time, and so it was no different going into that game.
I appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.
Mr. Cartwright, you're up.
So Coach, you're saying you don't want to play in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. All right. All right. So first off, hope you're doing well. Congrats on the win this week. What I want to specifically ask you is, you've done so much work, whether it's you've been working to change the culture, you've been trying to get people to come to attend the games. You've been working on the passion. With this now being just for this particular game week, as big of a game it is, what is the vibe around your team and also around the campus ahead of this week's big game against Alabama State?
Well, within our building, it's a big game because it's our next opportunity. We certainly don't downplay opponents, but it's in our minds, our opponents are nameless gray faces, man. We're just trying to get better. Again, trying to figure out what we're going to be in the end. In order to do that, you got to play well day to day and play to play, not just here and there. And so, for our people outside of the building, I don't know. I honestly don't know. You know, I was really proud of our fans for staying through the rain delay. We sold more tickets. I think we almost did get to a sellout from a ticket standpoint, but rain and everybody didn't attend. I think we had like over 11,000. So I was proud of that. What I learned about our fans and our alums, if you challenge them, they'll answer. Everybody's got the people that want to make a comment about something, right? We look at that as losing. So we don't really take any heed to that. The people that were here this weekend and stayed, we expect those people to come back this weekend, because we shouldn't just bring RVs into our parking lots for just homecoming. In championship programs, RVs are required weekly. And so we're teaching people how to win, what winning looks like. And I don't say that as a slight in people's face, but man, I'm from here, so I know the history of our program. And it ain't normal to think about championships here at Prairie View A&M in football. And so we're trying to get that back. We're trying to get that going. And when you do that, sometimes you have to have some conversations, whether it be publicly on social media or privately, to make people understand what it is that we're trying to do. And I've been very proud of the way that they've come in and expressed and donated and given back to these young people. And so I know that makes us we're on the right path. But as far as in the building, man, we're focused, laser focused on this Alabama State team. And we know that they bring a good crowd when they come. A lot of Alabama State alums in this area. I was coached by some. And so, man, we're looking forward to a good crowd. We're looking forward to a great football game.
Well, appreciate you as always, Coach Jackson. And we're looking forward to seeing this big game this week. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
Perry Daniels, you're up next.
Good morning.
Get the new iPhone 17.
All right, it's a good time to take a break anyway from that. All right, so we're going to take a look at Prairie View's schedule real quick. I had a lot to say about Prairie View in preseason. So real quick, let's go through what they've been doing. And I'm going to be honest with you. I challenged Prairie View early in the season. And I said Prairie View need to be Southern, do this and that. I created a whole list of things they need to do. I even said that I think Prairie View A&M is going to be a 500. Am I lagging right now? It's lagging pretty bad. 1 second, y'all. Don't worry about nothing. Okay, we still there. 1 second. There we go. Good. All right. Yeah. So what I was saying with Prairie is I gave him a lot. I mean, because the way that Coach Jackson was talking and really how he sees the SWAC is a get better at and a place that he can really, set the tone. And honestly, I kind of feel like we're seeing that from Prairie View A&M right now. And where they are as a program, this team, I think they've right. They aren't as talented as the rest of the SWAC. They play good defense. Their offense still leaves some to be desired. But when you talk about this Prairie View, you're talking about a squad occasion, plays good and big. The biggest question with a lot of these new coaches in the SWAC and in the MEAC is, do they play well in big games? Oh, yeah, I'm getting some weird connection right now. I want to get my connection straight. There we go. Okay, that might be a little bit better. Just trying to get into my bag too, man. All right, I think it's a little bit better. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't get better, we'll get off. If it does get better, we'll stay on. All right. Right now, we about 2.5 hours into the stream, man. If you haven't already, please like the stream. I appreciate everybody tapping in, especially on the late show. You know, I like to get on here in the middle of the night, and I can stream for 3-4 hours right now. So we're on our way to 3 hours. We'll see if the internet will allow us to get there. Okay. Chat, let me know if it's getting a little better for you. If I'm still choppy or not, let me know, bro. I was seeing choppy on this side, but it looks like I'm better now. Let me know. Feels fresher. Let's see if we can go on and search something now. Yeah, I don't like this. Every time I try, everything slow down. All right, yeah. I'm going to call it. All right, y'all, man. I appreciate everybody with me tonight. Please hit the like button. Subscribe with me. Tap in with me. I'm going to be on here much more now. Flag football season's over. I'll be on here